The first time I saw Amara it was raining hard all over Lagos. Not the kind of gentle rain that cools the air. It was the relentless Lagos storm that floods the streets without warning, gets Danfo buses stuck in endless traffic, and irritates everyone before the end of the day. I took shelter in a little roadside restaurant near Ojalegba from the weather. My clothes were wet, my phone was nearly dead, and business had been terrible that week. Honestly, life itself seemed tiring. Then she came up to me at my table. "Good evening, sir. What do you want to eat?" I looked up nonchalantly and forgot about the food altogether. She was not the most beautiful woman I had ever seen, but there was something unforgettable about her eyes. Soft, weary, hopeful. One fighting quietly eyes battle life never announced publicly. I ordered rice and chicken, but somehow we wound up talking for almost half an hour. Her name is Amara. She was 27 years old. 2 years out of college, she still couldn't find steady work. Her parents had both died and she had been looking after her younger brother on her own. I was not the type of man who attached himself emotionally quickly. But that night something changed. Maybe it is the rain. Perhaps loneliness. Maybe it's fate. Or maybe sometimes destruction comes to a person's life with a beautiful smile. I gave her my number before I left. I had no idea that one simple decision would truly destroy me emotionally. Our relationship was moving fast. Way too fast. In 3 months Amara knew everything about me. My struggles, my dreams, my fears, even the insecurities I rarely admitted to myself. What made her unique was the way she listened. Most people just wait their turn to speak. But Amara listened like every word out of my mouth really mattered. She would call me every evening after work. Sometimes we'd stay on the phone until 2 a.m. talking about life, cracking up at random things, and planning futures we hadn't yet earned. Then one night she asked softly, "Do you ever feel like this country is playing with people's destinies?" I chuckled softly. "Every day." She paused for a moment. Then she said, "Promise not to laugh." "I won't." She took a long breath and went on. "I want to exit Nigeria." That one sentence changed everything. In the beginning, it looked harmless enough, just another Nigerian dream shared by millions. But slowly, it turned into an obsession. Canadian. That was her concentration. She watched videos for hours about life abroad. She talked about snow as if it was paradise. Better health care. Electricity steady. Safety. Opportunity, and every time she said it, I could hear the exhaustion underneath her excitement, the pain of someone tired of just making do. One night, as she lay on my chest, she whispered, "I will never forget the person who stood by me if I ever go abroad." I kissed her on the forehead. And like a fool I believed her. My friend Chike was the first to warn me. One night, we were sitting outside my electronics shop and he nonchalantly asked, "So how far with your babe?" I smiled proudly. "She's filling out her Canadian application." He nearly spilled his drink. "Wait. You are the sponsor?" "Not quite," I lied. He stared at me for a long time, then he spoke. "Be careful helping somebody out of poverty. Sometimes people get away, and get away from everybody that's caught up with the old life." I was insulted right away. "Not Amara." He gave a bitter laugh. "None of them is not like that before the airport." I paid him no attention. Advice is the bane of love. The right kind especially. Things got real after her exam IELTS. She didn't pass the first time. I remember the tears she shed in my car that evening. Tears running down her face, she whispered, "I'm useless. Maybe this dream is not for me." I held her hands real tight. "Try again. But the registration fee is high." "I'll sort that out." The cold, hard fact was, I didn't even have the cash. My business was already in trouble. But I couldn't bear to see her weep, so I took up money. The second time she did it. The way she threw herself into my arms that day. God. If acting was a profession, that girl deserved an award. Then there were passport renewals, medicals, application fees, and agent charges. Every stage needed money. Whenever money became a problem, I found a way to solve it. I sold my generator, drained my savings, and even borrowed through cooperative loans. My mother saw the stress one Sunday after church. "You've lost weight," she said gently. "I'm fine. Are you in trouble?" I put on a forced smile. No. But deep down, I was struggling. Still, every time Amara hugged me and whispered, "One day I'll repay everything," hope filled my heart again. That's the dangerous thing about emotional manipulation. It rarely feels like manipulation. Most times, it feels exactly like love. 3 weeks before her visa interview, something happened that should have opened my eyes. Around 11:43 p.m., her phone buzzed while she was in the bathroom. The screen lit up beside me. The message preview appeared. "Baby, I miss you already." My heartbeat stopped. The contact name saved was K. Redheart. When she returned, she noticed my expression immediately. "What happened?" I silently showed her the phone. For a few seconds, she froze. Then suddenly, she laughed. "Oh my God, that's Kelvin, my cousin from Abuja. Your cousin calls you baby? In our family we joke like that." Something felt wrong. Terribly wrong. But somehow, she convinced me. Looking back now, I realize something terrifying. When you love someone deeply, your mind starts to protect the fantasy you're hooked on. Even when the truth is right in front of you. I was completely hooked on Amara. The day of her visa decision finally arrived. I couldn't focus at work. Around 1 p.m., my phone rang. She was screaming with joy. "Baby! What happened?" I got approved. People in my shop turned to look at me as I shouted with excitement. That evening, we celebrated at a small restaurant. She held my hand across the table and cried. Real tears. Or at least they looked real. "Nobody has ever believed in me the way you do." Then she leaned closer and whispered, "I swear to God, once I settle down there, we'll start processing your own immediately." I smiled like a man who had finally won at life. I had no idea that heartbreak was already creeping up on us. Departure day came too quickly. At the Lagos airport, she hugged me so tightly that I could barely breathe. "Don't cry," she whispered. But tears were already streaming down my face. I wasn't ashamed. I truly loved her. Before she walked through the departure gate, she turned back to wave at me 3 times. And each time, I waved back with a smile. For months, that image haunted me. I kept asking myself one painful question. Was any part of it real? The first week abroad was wonderful. She called every day. Sent pictures and video called constantly. She excitedly showed me snow like a child. "Look everywhere. It's so white." I laughed. "My village girl has gone international." "Idiot," she giggled. But by the second week, something changed. Her replies became slower. Then came the one-word answers. "Okay. Busy. Later." Calls grew shorter. Excuses piled up. Work stress. Time zone. "I'm tired." That one night, I texted her repeatedly. No reply. 3 hours later she responded with, Please stop acting so insecure. That message stabbed me deeply. For the first time, I felt more like a liability instead of her partner. Then came that night which ruined everything. It was past midnight. I had just gotten done yelling at a creditor trying to collect money from me immediately. Embittered and drained from the call, I opened WhatsApp to send Amara a message. One blue dot. I furrowed my eyebrows and sent another message. One blue dot. I checked her profile. Picture. Disappeared. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly navigated to Instagram. Account deactivated. Facebook? Didn't exist. My fingers started trembling. Desperately, I grabbed my phone and dialed her number. The phone rang once. And cut. The number you have reached. I felt paralyzed. No. 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 Please no. I scrambled for another phone. She picked up. We stayed silent for 2 seconds. Amara? I muttered. Silence. Then she spoke. Ice. Her voice cutting right through me. I don't want to hear from you anymore. My heart clenched in agony. Why? I asked weakly. Another silence. Then she said the words that broke me. I just want to build a new life. A new life. As if I was some old table she left in Nigeria. She hung up. And just like that, I was foreign to the woman I nearly destroyed myself for. For weeks I couldn't work myself up to do normal things. I stopped opening my store. I avoided friends. Hell, even church was hard to get to because everybody wanted to know. How's my wife doing in the motherland? Damn wife. I couldn't even speak. Couldn't utter a sound. Until one afternoon, I saw this. She went online to celebrate her birthday with friends. I was about to scroll past when I noticed her face. Amara. Cheeks hurting from how big her smile was. She was next to this tall gentleman. His arm was wrapped around her waist. They looked comfortable. Like they've known each other for years. The words under the picture read, "Proud of you for finding love and happiness in Canada, Red Heart." I stared at that photo for almost 30 minutes. Then I broke. Not with a bang, but with a soft crack. Like glass breaking under the sea. That night, I fell asleep crying harder than I've ever cried as an adult. Not because she left me, but because I knew she never intended to take me with her. She was just my bridge to her new life.